Welcome back to my t-shirt printers. I'm Mike. Let's create something. So we're still under self-isolation and some of us are going a little bit stir crazy. How long have those cobwebs been there for? So let's create something. I know Adobe, because of the situation at the moment, is actually offering a free trial of their software for, I think it was 90 days the last time I checked, which is a pretty sweet deal. So if you haven't got Adobe or anything like that, just head on over there and quickly get a trial. Then you can follow along on this wondrous tutorial. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do some one color goodness. Why one color goodness? Well, sometimes it's cheaper to print one color prints than multicolor prints. We'll do some multicolor prints later on, but I just wanted to start off with this one color print first and see how much we can push it by and how cool we can make it look. And I think this one's going to actually work out pretty cool. Before we dive into today's tutorial, I just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Tim McKellany, John Rainsford, Lee Stewart, and Mark Langston. Just want to thank you guys for sharing the content of this channel. I really do appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. And to all the people that made comments in the last video, you guys are awesome. And it makes me feel like I'm not alone out there. And welcome across all the new subscribers. You're all awesome. Let's jump right in and give that one color design some bang. Right, to start off, I've selected my style of font, which I think is pretty cool. I have taken my font over here and converted it to outline. So basically what you're going to do is get your selected font, like this font over here. You can see it's got this bar line running underneath here. You just want to head up to type and drop down to create outlines. Once that's done, you can see that line underneath has gone, and it's now got these lines that go all the way around your actual font, which is now converted to outlines. This is the file we want to work with. So let's delete that file and organize our windows. So basically what I've got here, I've got my layers palette up. If I go on over here, I've got our swatches and a pathfinder and a stroke. So basically we're looking for the stroke, pathfinder, swatches, and the layers. I haven't moved our layers on this side just because we're going to be going to it quite a bit. Everything organized here, it's not arts and crafts. Now that we're all ready with our font selection and we've got our layers and our tools all ready to go here, let's get going. So first of all, I'm going to select this layer. I'm going to copy it. So I'm just going to Command C, or I'm going to go up here and say copy. Then I'm going to head on up to my layers palette, and all the way down at the bottom of here it says create new layer. Let's click that 7 times to make 8 layers. So I've got 8 layers. I've just clicked 7 times. Makes sense to me. I bet it makes sense to you. On this bottom layer over here, I'm just going to label this as backup. This is so that if we need to come back to this when we've messed up later, we can always come back to it. Let's click on this little open space over here just to deselect. Now I'm going to select layer 2 and I'm going to go Command F, deselect that item by clicking open space again, and do the same on layer 3, and let's just do it on layer 4 as well, just for safekeeping for now. I'm going to turn off the backup layer and I'm going to turn off layer 4. So now we've just got those 2 layers. Layer 2, I'm going to label this as outline. So I'm going to say outline. And what I'm going to do is lock layer 3 so we can't touch layer 3. We're only dealing with the outline layer for now. So I'm going to head on over to my swatches, and in the swatches I'm going to make the fill red and I'm going to make the stroke red. So both of those colors need to be red. Then I'm going to go up here to where my stroke palette is, and let's size that up. I'm just clicking up just to take that. Let's take it to 7. 7's a good size, and you can see it's starting to peak out over here in the T and peak out over here in the E. So if we want to tighten this up, it's really easy. All we can do is go to object, and I'm going to click expand and go OK. Now what I am going to do just before I start tightening those up, I am going to ungroup them. So I'm going to go object, ungroup, or Shift Apple G or Shift Command G. I'm going to ungroup them. I'm going to hold down Alt, head over to my Pathfinder window and click on this Unite button, and you can see what it'll do. After I click expand, it takes all that little inside bit away. So basically if I switch off this window, you can see it's a completely solid. We don't have those funny little lines on the inside. Now let's zoom into this T over here. I'm going to get my pen tool up, which is P, or you can head on over to your palette tool over here, which is pen tool, and I'm just going to click on there. You can see it gives me that little minus sign. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to get rid of those just to make it really nice and tidy. Scroll over here to where the E is, and I'm going to click over there, and I'm also going to take those ones, that one. I'll just take that one away because it's actually a join over there. Right, so now we've got our outline stroke. Did someone say we can go outside? False alarm, false alarm. Let's move on to the inside stroke. So let's head on over to this layer 3 over here. I'm just going to unlock it, click that little padlock off, and let's label this inline stroke. stroke. What I want to do, I'm just going to select that, and now I'm going to head back over to my swatches. For now, I am going to take out the fill, so I'm going to select the fill and say none. I'm going to select my stroke and say I want this to be white. What we want to do, we want the stroke to be in the inside. It just makes for a cleaner finish when you're doing this type of thing. You don't want the strokes to go outwards, you want them to come inwards. It just looks better in the end result. So I'm going to click on this little one here, align stroke to the inside. So I'm going to just do that to the inside. You can see it's given this like a little pin line going around it. I don't want that to be too thick, I just actually want that to be quite thin. So I'm actually going to leave it on this one point up here, which I'm happy with this at this point. Let's leave that there. It will do. It will do. What we're going to do now is I'm going to select this little key line that we just created. I'm going to copy that. So I'm going to go Command C, or you're going to go Edit and Copy. Now I'm going to head on over to layer 5, and I'm going to go Command F just to paste it in the exact same place again. Right, I'm just going to move that layer in actual fact just below layer 4. So let's just label this effect layer for now. So I'm going to lock those other two layers over there just so that we can't touch them. We're just dealing with this layer over here at the moment. So what I want to do, you can see at this point there is a line. Let me just quickly change the guide on the color guide on this so you can actually see what we're actually doing. So if I select over here, you can see it's just got that outline selected. It hasn't selected the inside. So we're going to head up to Object, and I'm going to go Expand Appearance. And now you can see it's drawn a line basically on this side and that side, so the inside and the outside, and that's what we're looking for at this point. What we want to do, we don't want this outline, we just want the inline. So I'm going to get this tool over here, which is my direct selection tool, or quick key of A. I'm going to select the outside point of this, and I'm just going to hit backspace and backspace again. So you can see it's given us a fill. So if I just switch off my inline effects, I'm going to take that out, and you can see it's just got that inline bit. So if I do the exact same one at this, I'm going to go select backspace, backspace, and I'm going to delete this one over here, exactly the same over here, backspace, backspace. So I'm just selecting the outer line on each of these, backspace, backspace, and then I'm going to delete the inside of the A. Same here, outline, backspace, 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 again and again. So I'm just left with that inside bit. And let's just do the bottom of this E, backspace, backspace, and backspace, backspace. So you can see I've just left with the inside there. And this is basically where one of our effects is going to go. So if I change this layer now, so I'm going to get my pointer tool, I'm going to select this inside layer that we just created, head on over here, and let's make this yellow. And then we can switch on our inline effect. So you can see we've got this little bit of an inline there. It's probably the worst color I could have chosen. So we've got this inline, outline, keyline effect going around over here, and then our inside where the actual effect is going to go. What we're going to do now is I'm going to copy this layer, okay, and I'm going to put this onto layer 6. So just click off your artwork and just go Command F, and let's just hide that one for now. Let's start creating our effect that's going to go into this layer. So I'm going to get my pen tool selected, which is P, or you can head up over to your tool palette over here. It's going to flip this little round over here, and in actual fact, let's head on over to your tool palette, your swatches palette over here, and let's just make this black for now. Now I'm going to click on this side over here and hold Shift while clicking over here. Basically what I want to do is make sure that it covers my whole graphic, so all the way to that side to all the way to that side. So I've got that selected over there. I'm just going to hold down Command and click on my artboard to deselect. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to shift this slightly this way to make sure it covers everything, and let's set this on our stroke weight. Let's put this at 4, and let's click. It's going to move it into our actual layer so we can see, and I'm going to hold Shift and drag this upwards right to about here. Let's just actually move this to the side a little bit over there so it covers the whole graphic. Now for the top layer, I'm going to, where it says weight, let's take that down to let's get down to 2.5, shall we? Now select both of these stroke layers over here, and I'm going to either go Command Alt B, or you're going to head up to Object, Blend, and Make, and it just gives us all these lines, very dense over here and not so dense over there. So we're going to go back to blend and go across to blend options, and I'm going to select specify distance. Let's click on that little preview button so it gives us a live feed of what we're actually doing. So here, let's start off with 1.2. No, we want to go the other way, so let's go to 1.8, and basically we want a gap here and we want it to get wider over there. So you can see it starts off denser and it gets lighter. So let's go okay for that for now. Now the great thing about this is if I'm not happy with this line here, I can go back up to my stroke and let's say just take that down to 2, so you can see it actually gets lighter. So if I had to take that down to say 1, you can see it gets much lighter as we go up. Let's leave that about 1.5, and that to me is pretty cool. Let's select our lines that we've done there again. I'm going to head up to object and I'm going to go expand. I'm going to go OK, then I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to go object, expand again, and go OK. Basically what we want these all to be individual lines like they are here. So that's why we have to expand it twice. Let's get this graphic inside this blue area. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the black layer and select this blue layer. So I'm going to hold shift and click on both of those. Now I'm going to head on over to my Pathfinder, and you can see this little intersect icon here. I'm going to hold the Alt button down and click on that. Then I'm going to click expand, and you can see now we have this cool Dennis the Menace look going on here.
I apologize, he's old school.
So let's head on back to this layer 6. I'm going to switch that on, and I'm going to select layer 6 with my pointer tool on my selection tool, and I'm going to copy this layer and deselect that by clicking on another blank area and pasting it onto layer 7. Let's switch off layer 7, and I'm just going to move this layer 6 above our effect layer, and let's just say effect outline. That's what we're going to call this. Okay, so I'm going to select our blue layer, head on over to our swatches, and I'm going to give it a black stroke, but I'm going to take off this blue fill. So there's going to be no fill, and I'm just going to have this a black stroke. So if we go up to a stroke palette over here, and you'll notice that we can't select this inside stroke, and that's what I want. I want this inside stroke. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ungroup this object. So I'm going to go Command Shift G, or you can head up to Object and go Ungroup over here. Then what I'm going to do is go over here to Unite. I'm going to hold down Alt and I'm going to click on Unite, and now I'm going to click Expand, and now you can see our stroke window that has now popped up so we can actually use it. So I'm going to click on this inside stroke, and then we want that little bit of that key line inside stroke. That's what we're looking for there. Just for now, let's leave that at that, just in case you want to come back and tweak that inline stroke, but I'm thinking that's pretty good for now. Now what we're going to do is get our layer 7, which is this over here, and I'm going to drag that underneath our effect layer, and let's label this inner shadow. Okay, so I've got an inner shadow, just turn it on there so we can actually see what we're doing. And then what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to lock these 2 layers over here. So I'm going to lock those 2 layers just so that we can't select them. I'm going to select our blue layer again, copy that, deselect it, and go to this layer 8, and I'm just going to go Command F just to paste it there so we've got another backup of that, and switch that layer off. So with this inner shadow selected, let's click over here, and I'm going to click and drag while holding Alt and make a duplicate of that layer over there. So let's just pop it about here somewhere. I'm just trying to see the shadow area, so I'm going to drop it over there, and let's just make this any other color. So I'm just going to make it this purpley dark bluey color over here. Now what I want to do, where this layer is peeking out through here, that blue, that is going to be our inside shadow. So thinking of how deep I want that shadow, I'm just going to take it back very slightly to about there. That's cool with me. Now I'm going to hold shift and select the lighter blue layer and the darker blue layer together. So I've got both of those layers selected, and I'm going to go over to here to my Pathfinder and say minus. So I'm going to minus that off and just click expand, and now you can see we've got this inner bluish shadow going on here. Let's make that black by heading over to our swatches palette, just click on black, and now we've got that inner shadow layer going there. Now that layer that we saved, layer 8, I'm going to click and drag that underneath our inner shadow, click that over there, and I'm going to switch that on, and let's select it, and I'm going to make it white. Okay, so now we've got a white inside with the shadow, with a little shadow effect and everything going there. And let's just enable this Phil.
Hi Phil.
Now that we've got our inner shadow sorted, let's start sorting out our outer shadow. So what I'm going to do, let's first of all lock the layers that we were working on and unlock this outline layer over here. I'm just going to zoom in so we can see what we're actually doing. So first of all, let's click our outline red layer. I'm going to make that black, and now I'm going to click and I'm going to hold Alt while dragging it down this way. what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to hold Alt, drag it to here. Now, what I've actually done, I've made sure it's overlapped these little areas over here, which I think could be little problem areas. Otherwise, we would end up with little white gaps over there that we would have to come and delete later. While holding Shift, I'm going to select my original layer, so I'm going to click on those and make sure those are both selected. Now you could go along with your pen tool and join all of these up if you wanted to, but an easier way is just to go to Object, drop down to Blend and go Make, and then head back up to Object and then go Blend and then go Blend Options. Now what we want to do is first of all, let's click on the preview and go Specified Steps. So what we look to do is fill this here with a basic blend. So if we just go 50, that looks pretty cool, a little bit jagged. So let's just take it up. Let's just take it up to 55 to be safe. I'm going to click OK. Now what we're going to do is go to Object, Expand. Okay, click OK when that window pops up. I am going to ungroup this now. So I'm going to go Object, Ungroup, or Apple Shift G, and head it over to my Pathfinder, hold Alt down and click on this Unite button. So I'm going to click on Unite, wait for that, and then just click on Expand. Now it's given us a solid graphic line there. So that's what we're looking for. There's no little funny gaps in between any of these, so that is looking sweet. So I want to add a little bit more to this, and I'm just going to create a new layer, this layer 9 over here, and I'm going to say extra text, and I'm just going to paste that in there. So I'm going to take my little wording over here, I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to do the same over here, put it over there. I'm just going to copy both of those, Command C, and then I'm going to go Command B to send another copy to the back. Take out that fill and put a stroke of white on it. So I'm just going to send that to the outside and make them nice and round by clicking those, and I'm just going to expand. Ooh, not too much, let's just give it a very fine key line there. That is looking so cool.
Right, so if you're up for a multicolor print challenge, watch this and you still won't need a rip.
What I'm going to do, then I'm just going to select this layer over here, and I'm going to make it this nice solid green over here. Then this little effects layer that our lines are in, let's just make this like a limey green color. You can see our shadow's just in the wrong place there, so I'm going to take that inner shadow and I'm going to just pop it above the effects layer so it drops that effect in. Now how cool does that look? Whoa, yeah!
And that about brings us to the end of today's episode. If you want to follow along with this tutorial, then I'll leave a link to the exact same files that I was using here. I'll start off with the basic and then give the complete so you can see how you guys get on. I'd love to see what you guys do. Then out the way, make sure you follow us on our social channels, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, stay safe, keep creating, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out of here.